Courage and Politics. These are stories about that most admirable of human virtues, courage. Grace under pressure, Ernest Hemingway defined it. And these are stories of the pressures experienced by 8 United States senators and the grace with which they endured them, the risks to their careers, the unpopularity of their courses, the defamation of their characters, and sometimes, but sadly only sometimes, the vindication of their reputations and their principles. Today, the challenge of political courage looms larger than ever before, for our everyday life is becoming so saturated with the tremendous powers of mass communication that any unpopular or unorthodox course arouses a storm of protests, such as John Quincy Adams, under attack in 1807, could never have envisioned. Our political life is becoming so expensive, so mechanized, and so dominated by professional politicians and public relations men that the idealist who dreams of independent statesmanship is rudely awakened by the necessities of election and accomplishment. And our public life is becoming so increasingly centered upon that seemingly unending war to which we have given the curious epithet cold that we tend to encourage rigid ideological unity and orthodox patterns of thought. Thus, in the days ahead, only the very courageous will be able to take the hard and unpopular decisions necessary for our survival in the struggle with a powerful enemy, an enemy with leaders who need give little thought to the popularity of their course, who need pay little tribute to the public opinion they themselves manipulate, and who may face, without fear of retaliation at the polls, their citizens to sacrifice present laughter for future glory. And only the very courageous will be able to keep alive the spirit of individualism and dissent which gave birth to this nation, nourished it as an infant, and carried it through its severest tests upon the attainment of its maturity. We shall need compromises in the days ahead, to be sure, but these will be, or should be, compromises of issues, not of principles. We can compromise our political positions, but not ourselves. We can resolve the clash of interests without conceding our ideals. Compromise need not mean cowardice. Indeed, it is frequently the compromisers and conciliators who are faced with the severest test of political courage as they oppose the extremist views of their constituents. It was because Daniel Webster conscientiously favored compromise in 1850 that he earned a condemnation unsurpassed in the annals of political history. His is a story worth remembering today. So, I believe, are the stories of other senators of courage, men whose abiding loyalty to their nation triumphed over all personal and political considerations, men who showed the real meaning of courage and a real faith in democracy, men who made the Senate of the United States something more than a mere collection of robots dutifully recording the views of their constituents, or a gathering of time servers skilled only in predicting and following the tides of public sentiment. Some of these men whose stories follow were right in their beliefs, others perhaps were not. Some were ultimately vindicated by a return to popularity. Many were not. Some showed courage throughout the whole of their political lives. Others sailed with the wind until the decisive moment when their conscience and events propel them into the center of the storm. Some were courageous in their unyielding devotion to absolute principles. Others were damned for advocating compromise. Whatever their differences, the American politicians whose stories are here retold shared that one heroic quality, courage.